All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Atlanta. Good morning, Southeast, East Coast, West Coast, New York, Texas, wherever you are. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for opening your calendar, moving things around. You know, you could be doing a lot of things this morning and you are here. We don't take that lightly. We say around here, the way you start your day gives you the rest of your life. Now, I got a question. I got a question for Chase. My man.
Oh my gosh.
What do you call a guy who's really loud?
A blabbermouth.
Mike.
He went with the singer joke. Wow. Nice. That was nice. That was nice. I got to give that to you.
It's terrible. I know. I know they're terrible.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, they're terrible. It's not too bad.
I should have known that one.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. Today, we have a phenomenal conversation with our phenomenal guest, a real friend and a friend of the family, Mr. Chase Greye. Thank you for being here. And today's question is going to be, today we're going to dive in under this question, under the context of this question, to provide some health and vitality insights for the rest of your life. Water, can it be your worst enemy or your best friend? Insights from a professional vocalist. So today we're going to be thinking outside the box a little bit, and I really like that. And Chase, if for some of you, this might be the first time that you meet Chase, I'm going to just say a tip of the iceberg of the opportunity of his life as you get to know him. But for some of us, Chase is, we know Chase. Chase needs no introduction. So Chase Steele Greye is a multi-faceted artist who specializes in vocal performance. His talents have taken him all over the world to over 20 countries. Chase is the owner and CEO of Ricochet Worldwide Play, a music event company that provides talent to high events around the world. Chase has many passions, from photography to handmade functional items, culinary arts, theater, and dance. He's also well-versed in vegetarianism and maintaining a healthy lifestyle that is 80% plant-based. On any given day, lastly, he hosts a podcast entitled The Morning Mind Podcast, which is available in most streaming channels. So before we dive into getting to know a little bit more about Chase and about this question of how water can be your friend or not, we're going to prime ourselves. And so a quick question, Stacy, great to see you, Stacy. Quick question for you. Where are you and what time is it?
Good morning, my Daily Huddle family. It's always a pleasure to see you. Where am I? I am right here where I need to be, right here with my family, about to learn about water. And did you ask me what time it is?
Yeah.
The time is, I'm going to look at my invisible skin watch. The time is now. The only time that we have full mastery of.
Yes, the only access I have is now, and the time is now. And I'm here. Wherever I go, I'm still here. Interesting. Andrea, 2 questions for you. One thing you're grateful for, and who are you going to hug today?
I am grateful for, let's see, the rain. Today is going to be raining, so I'm grateful for it. And who am I going to hug today? You know the answer is going to be me first. Always me first. A little bit selfish, but also my daughter. She's here. So that's it.
Andrea, I have found that self-love is probably the selfless thing to do.
Yes.
I have found that to be true in my life.
Yep, I agree 100% with that.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for being here. Chase, thank you for being here with us again and creating this conversation. So when I saw this question, Chase, my mind really got excited. Water.
Right.
Can it be your worst enemy and your best friend? Insights from a professional vocalist, given your experience for traveling the world in 20 countries, however many years. Tell us, what do you mean by that?
Well, thank you for having me, Gio. I love being here on the Huddle, as you know. I'm here every day, so I love the people, and thank you so much for all the energy. You know, it's interesting because when I decided to do the topic, I thought, well, this is basic. I mean, is this going to be exciting? People know about water, but I don't think that's true as well. I think it's really like this thing that happens where we see it, we know it's there, we have access to it, and yet we're a lot of times not aware of the really big benefits that water has, right? So you're talking about lubricating the joints, you're talking about protecting the spinal cord, you're talking about getting rid of waste, you're talking about absorption into the, I mean, all these factors, right? And disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on the Daily Huddle today. I challenge you, not challenge, I invite everyone to go online and check anything that I say, because it's all there, right? I'm not here to snow anybody, excuse the pun. So the thing is that we know that our brain is over 75% water. We know that water covers 70% of the Earth's surface. We know all that stuff. And yet, somehow, some way, we don't allow it to give us the benefits that it has. We drink less water, a lot less water on some days, and we wonder why we're not digesting enough, or why we don't have enough saliva in our mouth, and why we feel dry. You know, the lips, I'm guilty of licking my lips a lot, and I usually put a lot of things on my lips as well. But at the same time, when I'm drinking a lot of water, I don't feel that way. It's really interesting how, you know, you can get these feelings and not have the most basic thing in your body that is right near us. That's why it's fascinating to me. And of course, you know, how much water you need, they say 8 glasses. They say sometimes men need more because of our physical breakdown. But also, you know, how much water you need has to do with what temperature you're living in, how much activity you're involved in, all these little factors. But on a basic level, just basic, not getting complicated, drinking more water just aids the body in general for any weight qualification or anything. And then some people are also surprised, because I'm guessing that they're not understanding the full benefits of it, that water can actually make you lose weight. And a lot of people forget that, because what's happening, right? The water's going in and it's cleansing the body, and some of the crap that you don't need makes its way out of the body. It's always lubricating, always lubricating. As a vocalist, and I found this as I was traveling, sometimes it became a pain in the neck for me to drink a lot of water, because I'm on the stage. And if you have to pee all the time, it just becomes irritating. So I would drink a lot of water, drink a lot of water, drink a lot of water, and then literally be in the show and have to go to the bathroom. I can't. I'm switching costumes. I'm moving around. I couldn't go to the bathroom. So had to learn how to regulate that. Also, there's a misconception, or let's call it a so-called misconception, because I've had this conversation with a lot of people. They say, well, but Chase, you know, I drink 2, 3, 4 cups of coffee a day, so I must be really well hydrated. I mean, I don't like water as water is. It's just boring to me. And there's been all these arguments about, is coffee a dehydrator or not? Certainly, it's a diuretic. Certainly, your body, things in the body will soften a little bit more when you have this warm temperature of liquid going through your body. Yes. So that's something to research on your own. Is it a dehydrator or is it not? How many people can drink lots of coffee and still be okay? People say, I need my coffee in the morning. I want to be up. I got my water and my coffee together. And some people would say, oh, that's not really what we're talking about, but okay, let's go with that. And if you go online, you will find conflicting information about coffee being a dehydrator and coffee being, yeah, you got your water in it, you're good. And coffee is actually good for you. And I've read that, you know, it goes on and on and on. In my personal experience, the water that I consume makes me feel lighter and cleaner. And of course, we've all heard this, and I believe it's true. If you personally check your urine every day, you will see the differences in color. And that is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to regulate the water that's going into your body. Also, people always say to me, well, again, I don't like water. It's boring. It's boring. How can I get water from food? And we talked about this a while ago when I was speaking about some other things about plant-based. Talking about, for example, let's just say cucumbers, tomatoes, broccoli, over 90% water. Unbelievable, right? Those foods are carrying the water in them, not to mention apples and blueberries and melons and all these things. So there's different ways to get water into the body. It's not just the straight water. And I just want to make it clear to everyone that we have the kind of the resources to have this water in our body to actually be our friend. I mean, we speak about the intake of food. We speak about the consumption of certain kinds of foods. Why not incorporate that into letting your body be more hydrated and making it work the right way?
Great, Chase. Thank you. Thank you for creating that context. And one of the things that got kind of sparked my attention that I wanted to ask you. So there are this, there isn't one of the aspects that tricks me, and I assert that it tricks most people, but for myself, is that common sense, although we all have it, we not always all use it, right? So it's common sense would say, I gotta drink more water. And then what some of the things that you were pointing to, which are, I think, good generalization for a lot of people who don't drink water. One, I don't want to go to the bathroom all the time, right? And so you were pointing to the possibility of calibrating one's body or training my body to, even though I drink a lot of water, I actually can train my body to regulate to go to the bathroom when I need to. How were you able to do that?
I'm a very active person. I live in New York City and currently a little bit outside of the city in Connecticut. I am on the move, and how I regulate it for myself, for example, I have my trusty friend here, Mr. Azzurro. I like to drink water out of this. I've never brought this on the call before, but this bottle I fill up at least 3 or 4 times a day. I regulate it by Mr. Azzurro.
Azzurro. I like that you got a name for your water bottle.
Azzurro. Italiano. Azzurro. So I know that if I'm going from point A to point B, if I begin, that's really my answer. It's the foundation, right? Today and almost every day, let's say before the hours of 10, about 10, I've already had, I don't know, maybe 2 of these usually, because I fill it up at night. And the thing is, that foundation allows me to move forward. So then in the day, like when I'm eating lunch, I'll have some more water. I don't just drink water. I actually drink a lot of juices with the water. I don't drink carbonated drinks. That's just me personally. It's been kept my system calm for a long time. However, the correct sparkling water is also very good for the body, depending on who you are, right? So I regulate it based on my lifestyle and how I do what I do. One of the facts of water is when you realize that you feel like you need water, your body is almost already partially dehydrated. The process has already started a little while ago. We don't always catch it right when we need it. That's the thing. Sometimes people say, oh, I haven't been drinking water all day. And then at night they drink like 4 bottles. That's different than drinking it in the beginning of the day, right? And just one fact, an interesting fact about being a vocalist. I used to think that when I drank water before I went on stage, all right, I'm good, I'm hydrated. And then I found out the body is not hydrated by water until water goes through the digestive system and it creates the hydration for the whole. I was like, because why would I want a rush of water going over my larynx into my vocal folds? It would completely inundate it. So it goes through and then the body uses it in a complete fashion, which I found extremely fascinating, right? It has to go through to be used. So you could drink a bottle of water before you go on stage and it's going, okay, we're going to work on this for a little while. You sing your songs. We'll be back up to help you in a second. right? Which is so fascinating to me.
Yeah, I can see what I'm seeing, what you're saying is that that if I allow myself to speak to my body, to direct my body with a certain intention about what is it that I'm going to do, then I can intentionally start regulating how I need it to perform. And given that water, it is such a critical element for performance, for high performance, and helping the body and helping the brain and helping myself, and I've got to find a way to make water a friend. And I like what you did. I don't know if you did it intentionally or not, but I like that you created a name for your water bottle.
Yes, and I was going to say that about that. One of the reasons why I like drinking water, and again, I've never shown this on the Daily Huddle. I usually use the bottle that's another bottle that I have close by. But just like everything else, if you connect doing something with something that you already like, you'll do it more. I love this color. I love cobalt blue. I've always loved it my whole life. It seems calming to me. If you saw how many of these bottles I had, you'd be like, wow, geez, that's a bit excessive. But I love that. So it's a great point that you brought up. Like put the water in a receptacle that you love. They have bottles with sayings on it, clear, beautifully shaped bottles. They have ones with plastic on it. They have bottles that can take hot and cold. I have all those. And I love little things like that, little details. So for me, that's how I inspire myself to drink more water on any given day. I always have something with me. I can bring, 20 different things with me in my bag or whatever and get water when I'm out. That's how I do it.
Yeah, that's really phenomenal. Very artistic. The other day last week you said, and for those of you who have questions or comments, please feel free to go ahead and raise your hand. The other day, last week you said, I've come to a place in my life where I am okay not eating. Like I go to a place and then I see that there's not necessarily the food I want to nurturing, in my body. I don't want my body to process it right now. And so you have this really cool relationship with your body where you listen to it and then you'll say, no, I don't need to eat. I won't starve. Nothing's going to happen. I'm going to pass this on. Even though you're in a social setting and people are sort of expecting you to eat and it's a way to connect with people, you relate to your body kind of in a really healthy way. And I want to take that on. And also, one of these that you're bringing for us is be artistic with your relationship with water.
Right.
Bring a bottle that you love the color, that it gives you an emotional connection, and then put the water in it so that it invites you to drink.
That's it.
And then all of a sudden have this artistic relationship with health is what I'm getting in with you. This is really, really opening something for me. I'm sorry, I think I interrupted you. You wanted to add something?
No, I'm watching your excitement from what I said, and I realized over time, I do that with many things in my life. Could be because I'm an artist, because I'm a photographer and I do lots of things and I'm very visual. I always tell people, just go to my Instagram account. You'll see what's in my brain every day, what I see. And yeah, I believe that we should connect it because there are people who have literally life-changing issues in their body that can be solved with water. It's unbelievable. Like to cleanse the self. I'm going to tell you a quick story. You said, well, you seem to have this relationship with food and you don't eat when you don't want to eat, whatever. True story. And I think I might have alluded to this before. I was at a party a couple of months ago. A guy invited me that saw me singing outside this restaurant. We became friends. He invited me to his company party. I hadn't eaten all day. I was so busy. I had just some fruits for breakfast and some juice. And then I didn't have anything. And I was like, I'm going to eat later. And I was on the phone. I was writing, whatever. I went to this party. There was these people passing around foods all the time, right? They had pizza. They had these little chicken things. They were the size of like 2 quarters. They were this beef thing, da 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 da. I don't normally eat any of that stuff. My friend says, you should try this. I'm like, yeah, I really don't eat meat, but da-da-da-da. What did I do? Took one, put it in my mouth. Oh, this is tasty. Took another one, put it in my mouth. Took the pizza, put it in my mouth. Took this, put it in my mouth. At the end of that, 7 little things went into my mouth. Hand to God, when I went home, I heard this noise. I was like, oh my God. My body said, no, Mr. Chase, you know we don't do that. And I was like, oh my goodness. I had a very quick relationship with the porcelain god. It was a difficult 20 minutes for me. I got up again in the morning. Go to the bathroom now.
Thank you, Chase. Thank you.
You see?
Very colorful expression of yourself.
But you see my point.
Chase, I want you to hold that thought. I want to.
But you see my point, though, right?
Continue. No, sorry, let me just create a transition here. It's important. Sorrel, go ahead and if you want to add something, I see your camera is
No,
up.
I'm. Can you
And
hear
then
me?
Sorrel, Stacy has his hand up.
Yep.
Okay.
You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, go ahead and take care of business, Gio. Chase, before we go to the questions, I'd love for you to create for the people listening. What has been the benefits for you as a vocalist of having your water regimen the way it is?
The voice gets dehydrated very quickly. Just getting up in the morning, those couple of hours before you start the day, the voice is still catching up. So water for me creates more fluidity for me, right? I sing a lot of different styles of music in a lot of different situations. If I don't drink water, I have like a ceiling. It just hits, and then that's it. I feel when I get to that point, I have to recreate everything because I did not do that blueprint that I said before. I did not start it in the morning the right way. Maybe 1 cup of water, whatever, and then I just went. It gives me the fluidity and the lubrication of the joints that I need because, sorry about that. I don't know how a call came in. It gives me that. It gives me the fluidity. That's what it is as a vocalist and as a speaker. I feel the difference when I don't drink a lot of water in a massive way. Massive.
Let's go ahead and go to Stacy Robinson. Stacy, you've got a question. Go ahead.
All right. Good morning, Chase. This is great.
Oh, beautiful people. How are you?
I'm thoroughly enjoying. Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying your segments. All right. So, yes or no, your thoughts. Half your weight in ounces.
That concept.
Yeah, that puts me at like a gallon, I think, like a gallon a day. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I've heard this many times. Look, I'm going to be really upfront with you about my answer. I would say statistically, when I hear those things, yes, that probably works. It does not seem realistic for me or any of the people around me that I've discussed it with, because you know you and I know me. I know what I'm consuming. You know what you're consuming. Not to mention drinking, smoking, being around smoke, excess foods, non-exercise. All these things are pulling at you, right? If it was just water, we'd be all right, right? You see some people that go to yoga. You go to yoga every day, the big burly guys that are like overweight. What happens? They go to yoga, then afterwards they have 2 burgers and fries. They erase the process. So that's my answer. For you, it's for you, and for me, it's for me. I don't really pay attention to those things by rote because I don't think that they know my body, like who I am. You know you. The rule that I would stick to, minimum 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, spread out. Not just in the morning, just spread it out. And you see the difference. You track you and say, okay, because there's also drinking too much water. Then you're in another place. You're drinking too much water. The water all wants to come out. You have a bladder issue. That's a whole nother conversation. So keep it easy and keep it mellow, and you'll know when it balances out. That's my answer for that.
All right, so I actually have a comment as well, Chase. Thank you so much. It's Joy Sonia. And so when I heard the topic, I was excited about it. I am one of these people who
Yes.
I do half of my body weight in ounces
Right.
water each day.
See, that's a lot. Wow.
You know, and I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I can drink this, and then by 7 o'clock, I will probably still have a little bit more water because I need it.
Right,
But
right.
what I did, and you know, I did the same thing. Favorite color. I didn't name her yet, but I'm thinking. I'm working on that. But one of the things that I did, because I didn't like room temperature water, this water bottle has an insert. So you can find water bottles that actually have inserts in it to keep the water cooler.
That's right. That's right.
Now
Yeah.
I've been doing this so long that I don't even need it.
Right.
And as a teacher, you know, we didn't have time to go to the bathroom. So, you know, I understand drinking around your schedule.
Yeah.
You know your schedule, you know when you have more free time. I would drink more water before then a half an hour before my classes start. I would go ahead and stop. And then as soon as I knew that, okay, I have a free period, that last class, I'm drinking more water. And also I started with putting lemon and cucumbers in my water, you know, just to help it taste a little better until I didn't need it. You know, I didn't need those things. So I'm like, this is an amazing topic. I love the topic. Water is definitely our friend.
Right.
And thank you for this topic.
And just to say one thing before you go, I respect that. I respect that bottle. Don't misunderstand my message. When I said, do you, you're doing you. I love it. When I say it's a lot, it's only a lot because I'm seeing it all at one time.
Yeah.
That's why I said that's a lot. We're taking it in small doses. I know categorically the top 10% of all human beings have the ability to do what you're doing. They just don't. They're not going to carry that bottle around all day in their bag on a little. They're just not going to do that. So I appreciate what you're doing, and I think it's totally admirable. I totally get it. Thank you so much.
Good deal. Good deal.
Process. Didn't happen all at once.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good to see you,
Chase. This has been awesome, and you know time flies, but there
Mr.
is
Azzurro.
someone in the audience that I wonder if he has a comment about water from his perspective. Daniel, is there anything you want to say and contribute to the conversation?
My man. Where'd he go?
Daniel, are you here?
You're muted, Daniel.
Sir, can you hear me?
Ah, there we go.
Now you can hear you.
Sir, the Wi-Fi is a little inconsistent here. Yeah, I mean, Chase touched on a lot of things that I would probably say too. I mean, I resonate with the idea of starting your day with it. It's something that I instituted with our 5-year-old. He drinks water when he first wakes up and he hates it, but I always make him do it because it's a habit that most people don't have. And he's right, it does set a tone for the day. I usually start my day with about 48 ounces of water. I put some magnesium in it, a little salt, and it does set a tone. I tend to, love sparkling water. Chase mentioned that earlier. For my constitution, it works pretty good. But I think the most important thing that he touched on was doing yourself. And in order to do yourself, you got to know yourself. And in order to know yourself, you got to pay attention to yourself. So if you pay attention, you'll figure out, how much water that you need to drink, when you need to drink it. I have a water drinking rhythm, and I don't really think about it anymore because it's become second nature. And I think that's kind of the process that most people are not typically willing to endure, is the process of the relationship that you build with yourself by paying attention, becoming more aware, and then you get to that place, but it takes time to do it.
It's truth. It's truth.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. We've got one more question from Latoya. Chase.
Let's do it. Bye, Andrea.
Hey,
Thank
hopefully
you. Have a good day. It's not y'all.
Latoya, are you there?
Are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, I just was giving space for her to say adios. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. I just wanted to share this. I did a little experiment a long time ago when I was in college. And I was like drinking a lot of water. I used to have, I was diagnosed with basically just super heavy periods and menstrual cycles. And I started like just pounding water and just drinking water, being consistent with it. And I had to start telling people that when you're consistent with drinking water, right? And don't overthink it. I know that the measurements and all that matters, but don't overthink it. If you're just starting, like just pick it up and drink it, right?
Exactly.
And I will tell you, my periods got lighter. They got more manageable. My cramps were lighter, sometimes non-existent. If I'm consistent if I'm consistent and I know, like I'm paying attention and doing what I'm supposed to do, like my cramps even almost disappeared. So and that was just the only thing that I changed in my diet at that time was water. So I just wanted to encourage a person who identifies as woman who has periods. I just want to encourage them, if they're listening, you may be experiencing some of these things. And I'm going to tell you right now, being consistent with that water helps a lot. I just wanted to share that.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that. Obviously, I don't deal with that, but I know that is a fact. And that microphone is gangster. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Latoya. Thank you, everyone. Laura, I know you had your hand up, but the time's up and we'll be here tomorrow. So Chase, I'm going to give you the opportunity to say your last comment for the day, sir.
Thank you so much, Sorrel. What a gentleman and a scholar. For me, people, like Latoya said, just start where you are. Please drink more water. Begin in the beginning of the day. Get a receptacle that you love. Put it by your bedside. Put another one in the kitchen. Whatever you need to do. Drink more water and track the journey from now. Write it in a book or just say to yourself, wow, I might be feeling differently. I don't know. I think I do feel differently. And pay attention to you, and the water will change your entire body. That's all I have.
Thank you, Chase. Thank you, Chase. We'll be here again tomorrow morning at the same time on the same channel. This is your Daily Huddle. We're ending today as we usually do with our 8 tenets. First, love. Well, love yourself by feeding it the water it needs. And love the world, including the people you love to hate. That's a good thing. Stress less. Life is not as long as we think it is. And given that the time is now, stressing less actually is the access to enjoying life. Because there's no enjoying life unless you're enjoying this moment. So stress less. Eat mostly plant-based and give and move your body, sleep so you can rejuvenate it. And last but not least, check yourself before you wreck yourself. This is our show for today. Tomorrow's Communication and Relationship Day. Tune in bright and early at 9 a.m. Until then.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.